Kobe, you ready?
Thing about Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
What thing about Bernie Sanders?
What do we think about him?
Um,
Uh,
I'll let you go first.
he wouldn't be a good leader, like, at all. His ideas don't really fall into place with anything that our country needs. And just overall, if he became president, it would just end badly.
I feel like if he became president, it wouldn't end badly. It's just nothing would happen. I feel like he's a bit too ambitious with what he wants.
Yeah.
And I don't see America ever falling into that eventually. Like, not at least not especially in the next couple of decades.
Yeah.
I
can see that.
don't see him working just
I
at
don't
all.
agree with free college, free community college.
Oh, it's like free healthcare. Like the countries that have free healthcare, it's look at them. They're not doing good.
They tax really high.
And you have to wait like months just to get into the hospital to get your flu shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's pretty ridiculous of what some of the stuff he wants. I can see how he thinks they're good. I just don't think he puts it in a good context.
Yeah.
It's all hypotheticals.
Yeah, like I agree with you there. I don't think it would actually end badly, like I put it. The way I put it was a bad phrasing, but just nothing productive would come out of it. Like in the end, we'd be exactly where we are now because the ambitions would not be able to be met.
Exactly. Yeah. You guys want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
He's only 77.
What the fuck?
What?
He looks like he's 80,
He looks at least like 300.
like 87 or some shit. He looks 10 years older than he actually.
Did you say at least 300?
At least 300.
Oh, he looks about as old as Emperor Palpatine or something. My
Fucking
God,
hell.
Honestly, he's. I don't get it. How he's just.
I wonder if his pee-pee's big.
Dickie Sanders.
You know, you look at people and you're like, I wonder if they have a large penis.
Sanders is fucking hung like a horse, dude.
Oh my god.
Like that
He
motherfucker
hung
puts
as a
Tyrone
horse.
to shame.
Puts Thanos to shame.
Fuck!
Dang, dude. I don't know about Thanos.
But does he put Ben to shame?
No.
Well, I don't know if they had a competition. Captain Marvel would just pull out a fatty and just ruin Thanos.
God!
That's what it'd be like.
Captain Marvel would just ruin everything.
Like
You know
usual.
what? Brie Larson sucks.
Finally, yeah. Like, she's fucking awful.
Honestly, dude. I can't stand it.
Oh, God. Oh.
Franchise for like
Does that.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Dude, that
We have
turns
no
me on.
choice. We have no
No
choice.
choice.
That
No
turns
choice
me on
whatsoever.
hardcore.
Nicholas Bin Laden.
Oh my god. Nick. Freaking.
Osama Bin Cage.
Okay, has anybody here besides Kobe and I seen Flyboys?
The fuck's that?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really good.
Wait, Jacob, have you seen Flyboy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dang it. Because it's an awful, awful movie that he, for some reason, thinks is actually good.
It's good.
It's an awful
Listen,
movie.
It's not good. It's an okay movie.
There's unused land.
No, that's still an overstatement. It is a bad movie.
No, dude. If anyone commented in Justin's video, they would say it's a good movie.
No, they would not. Nobody thinks it's a bad movie.
No, it's not.
Dude, Kobe's
It is
just
a
going to comment
bad
on my
movie.
video, like, repeatedly. Just, it's a good movie, it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
That's all he's gonna do. I guarantee it. He's gonna make 13
Because
alts.
he is.
It's a good movie. It's not a good movie.
It 100% is.
Spy Kids 3.
Alright, explain why, without saying CGI, because CGI doesn't always make up a movie.
No, but if it's a big part of the movie, then it's a big part of the movie. And if it's a
No.
big part of the movie and it's done poorly, then it is done poorly.
Tell me how the movie's bad.
It's an awful story, first off. It's got horrendous CGI. The acting is hit or miss.
I
It's
don't believe you.
the whole love plot is just bad, and it's just not a good movie.
There is no love plot.
Mother, father, please stop fighting.
Okay, let's get on to a different subject.
Okay. Yeah, if we argue about it, it'll never end.
No, yeah, there's no win there. Crap.
Dude, what do you think about the Mexicans?
Dude, they're the
They
best gardeners.
exist. What Jesus?
Gardeners?
Well,
Fuck it. That's not
I
gonna
mean-
I
work
heard a
out.
lot of them play Roblox.
What?
Get dead, dirty Mexican immigrant.
Oh my god.
I remember we spent like 30 minutes trying to set that up because the guy wouldn't stand still.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
You
he wouldn't
upset my
sit
dogs.
still.
How do you feel?
good.
I feel pretty good.
The Mexican wouldn't stay still.
No, he wouldn't.
Why
Except
not?
the thing was, I'm pretty sure that he. Hold on. Let me see if I can't find that Roblox game. Mexican border. I don't even know if it exists. The Mexican Border Beta. By Joseph_Stalin Jr.
Hey, boys, how about we just move on to another topic such as, like, the education system.
It's awful.
Oh man, it sucks.
Oh, let's go on a rant here, boys.
It is absolutely awful.
Yeah,
It's-
you want to start
it's
us out?
literally-
Okay, yeah. Okay, first off, I mean, the teachers are absolutely horrendously underpaid.
Yeah.
Some, there's no equality within the schools neither. If a school just so happens to have more funding go towards it, then it's just automatically better. It has better classes, has better options, it's got better benefits for the future. Like, most kids won't even have, like, good enough opportunities to pursue what they want because of where they just so happen that they have to live for their parents to make a
TFA is a
living.
joke.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, Teach for America is honestly awful. They stay there for about 3 years. They switch out the teachers so much, and it's just awful.
And
you
they
got
don't even
a lot of
try.
these. You get a lot of these teachers that aren't from the area, and then they think that they're in some foreign land that's hostile, and they'll just complain about it for like an hour.
Yeah.
Like one of our teachers literally argued about how we were freaking dirty redneck hillbillies or whatever.
Wait, who
Because,
said that?
What the heck? Okay, hold on,
do you
hold
have
on.
anything to add
About what?
about the education system?
Oh, I know something. How they're not tackling bullying, and that's what's causing school shootings.
That's a pretty big part. It's even become a
Yeah.
meme.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It's like, it really has.
It's like just the bullying's gotten so out of hand, but they don't do anything about it.
Honestly.
Yeah.
No, they think a
What?
fucking slap on the wrist is going to solve the problem. They're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we caught you bullying. Don't do that. You'll get a day of detention or some shit.
Don't do that.
Don't
Well,
do
and most of the
that. That's
time,
a
like,
no-no.
The reason why
It's-
they're afraid to do anything about it, like to do extensive stuff about it, is because parents are like sue happy nowadays, and they'll just sue anybody for anything.
Yeah.
Okay, one big thing. A few schools, think of it like the government. They're a little corrupt because if you're a so-called popular kid, I don't know what to say, it's a little cringy, but if you get to know the teachers pretty good, they're obviously going to pick favorites, and you get to do more than others. It's like with the principals and stuff. If you know them good, you're going to be able to do a lot more. You're going to be able to get away with a lot more.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's terrible here.
It's honestly an issue that needs to be looked into. Like, there's not much you can do to fix it due to just like how people always are going to be biased, but there should be repercussions and stuff like that to bullying further than just like a day of suspension or some shit, because like people who get bullied, they don't really get any help from it. They have to depend on the other students to help them out because the faculty is not going to do shit.
Yeah.
Whereas Cecil tax is the lowest.
Anyone have any solutions for the education system, especially when it comes to student education or bullying?
Oh god, I mean, for bullying, one, I guess just more surveillance, more like communication with the students. It's like they say that they want to, but they fail miserably at it. They don't even attempt to try and talk to the people who are being
Yeah.
bullied. They just treat them like, yeah, it
Yeah, they
happens.
don't even try to give them like counseling or anything.
No, they're just like,
It's
we dealt with the bully by giving them a day of suspension. There you go. That's all you get.
Well, it's it's gonna make it worse. Like he's on, you're gonna do suspension. I want to make your penis inverted.
and now he's gonna be pissed, and he's just gonna.
Yeah, he's just gonna. It's.
His little
The
rabbit.
thing is, parents need to parents are terrible nowadays. Like they don't know how to discipline.
Parents need
Yeah.
to chill the fuck out. They act like any kind of discipline is actually going to be horrible for their child, going to ruin their future. No. If you discipline a child during school, that's going to help this child have more of a standing later on in life, other than thinking they can get away with everything and just like being one-sided and end up doing that to their own kid and just having this trend go along.
Well,
Yeah.
another thing is discipline at home. The kids are just allowed to do whatever they want. They're not allowed, or they're allowed to do whatever they want. They can go stay over with their girlfriend overnight if they want, or they don't have any rules that they have to abide to. So
And see, like, that's the thing. We might joke around with Ben saying that about his parents, because, yes, they are too strict. That is the thing.
Yeah.
They are too strict, but still, like, it's better to be too strict, in my opinion, than be, like, that loose that your student, like, that your child can go around and bully students or anyone else and just do whatever the fuck they want, and then you're just like, I heard what you did, and they're like, so what? And you're the one getting bossed around by your child. That's a situation you should never get to.
yeah, right.
No.
You should always be the one in control at all times if you're the parent.
Yeah, because yeah, I can understand wanting your child to be happy. I can understand wanting them to succeed, but in order for them to succeed, you need to also give them discipline. Because without discipline, you're not going to do anything in life. Because once they get into the workforce, they're going to see all this discipline and think it's fucking retarded.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
think they're not being treated fairly, and they're gonna hate it. But I mean, that's just
If you don't teach your child correctly, they're not going to think correctly in the real world.
well.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of limiting factors when it comes to how parents, just parent their children, because a lot of them don't know how to parent them due to either jumping the gun or not having it planned, or just like overall just trying to make their kid too happy.
Yeah.
And
It's
also when it
just-
comes to very strict parents on education, some parents are too strict. They want their child to be too smart, and like some studies show that the smarter the kid is, the more depressed they're gonna be because of where they have nothing else to do in class. And like
Yeah,
how
right.
usually the smarter kids don't do things that the other kids do due to them knowing the repercussions of it, and that can make them just be lonely as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like a smart kid is not gonna be popular with, say, a jock.
No, yeah. Unless they themselves just so happen to be athletic, but that's
Yeah.
it's so rare.
Well, moving back to the education system in general, like with how the students are portrayed, not to bullying, but like their education in general. How could we better that?
More funding for the teachers. First off,
Yeah.
they need to
Yeah,
be paid more so
literally,
that they have a drive to
teachers-
teach.
It's like teachers don't care now.
That's what it feels like.
And who could really blame them though? Like I could understand, like yeah, they need to still do their job, but who can really blame them whenever they're getting paid? Just like fucking, they're basically not getting paid. They're basically just donating their
Yeah.
time for the student.
Yeah. Like you could go start working anywhere, really. Like you go start being a trucker or something, and you'd be paid more.
Put restrictions on TFA.
Honestly, like they think TFA is gonna like be the savior of the world, save them money, but it's just harder on the kid because they don't have a chance to talk to them because they don't really know situations of that area.
Exactly. And then, like, another thing that happens is, let's say in the high school situation, sometimes whenever the students begin getting fond of a teacher, TFA, that teacher will relocate.
Mm-hmm.
And that will break the bond that they had, and the student would have never got to open up about something that they felt like they were ready to open up about. Let's say, like, there was something terrible going on in their life, and the TFA was the only one they felt comfortable talking to.
It would hurt
And
if they moved.
yeah, if that person moved, they wouldn't have anyone to talk to.
Right. I don't really know much about TFA, to be honest. So it's a little bit out of my expertise.
Another thing is, some people suggest that we should revise how classes are taught. I agree with that, but there's some people going around saying that the student should be able to choose. I believe that that is right. The students should be able to begin choosing classes towards their career, and they should be given a rundown of their career in order to get a taste of what it would be like. But I don't believe it should be from the very beginning. I think it's around the start of middle school, maybe like the middle of middle school, maybe around seventh grade or so. Uh, Maybe the students should be able to begin like putting their toes in the water, so to speak, right? Just to see what their career that they chose would be. Due to like, if we tried to do this too suddenly, though, right? So let's say we had this from the very beginning. People make dumb decisions since it's a kid. Like a fucking second grader's not gonna know what he wants to be.
Right, yeah.
So like the seventh grade thing would be great, but the thing is we can't jump the gun and automatically reform the entire education system around that idea because we need to slowly push it in. Like we need to
Mm-hmm.
just start with how we do it in high school. The electives they need to be more broad. Students should be able to decide. Let's say, for example, an entrepreneurship class should be offered as a kind of idea of how students will be able to get this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's talented in writing doesn't really have a class for that. Anyone who's talented in, say, programming, they don't really have classes for that either in most high schools. So if
Yeah.
we just introduced a entrepreneurship class in the high school, and if it got positive reviews and stuff like that, of course there are gonna be students that have, like they're just too lazy. They take the class as like a free credit. That's unavoidable, but that's going to happen in like any kind of class. Like there's students who take the required classes such as math or English or science, and they just don't do anything in there either. The entrepreneurship class, for the ones who do want to learn and care about what they're going to be doing in the future, will take that class very seriously, practice their skills, and develop something maybe brand new that could help with the education system or just help in their career in general.
Yeah. Well, that again goes back to like the whole inequality of the school system. Like my school, we have entrepreneurship type classes. We have like marketing, and we have further levels of marketing. Like we have a fashion marketing, and then advanced sports marketing. We have those types of things, and we also like have programming. But so many other schools like around us, I know, don't have that because they don't have the teachers to teach it. They don't have enough like funds going into the school. None of it's working.
Yeah, so that's where the U.S. Department of Education comes in. We need to change it up a little bit. We need to get this through to them. If they begin putting equal classes in every school, then like just slowly begin pushing it across. Like maybe start on the East Coast or West Coast or like anything, right? And just begin pushing it towards the other side. Then as it goes, as more and more show more promise due to the new classes, if there's a higher rating in grades and success due from to the schools having these programs, then we should continue to push it on. And once every school is like that, if we notice a much higher educational value from each school, since they're all even now, that would help the country in more ways than having a top school here, a top school there, but then like very low scoring schools in other places because of where they don't have the same budget.
Yeah, right.
So if we manage to make them all equal, we could also begin pushing the idea I spoke of, the whole career entrepreneurship class down through the ranks, and also in seventh grade introduce like a not really a class, but maybe like a yearly thing or like annual meeting for the seventh graders, so how they run down on every selected class the students sign. So, like, before it happens, the students can sign what career they want to go into, whether they be a game developer, an artist, freelancer, filmmaker, um, anything, right? If they sign that, then the speaker will be able to tell them a rundown on everything they have and also forward it to the students' accounts, since most schools nowadays are beginning to use email systems, such as giving the students uh, laptops. And even if they don't do that, like if they have student-based emails, they could forward that, right? Like forward a PDF of that file that they wanted in order to let the student find out what the career would be like. And if the student liked their career choice, they'll be able to stick with that. And that would help them decide on what classes they want to take in high school.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. That could really help. I feel like something that doesn't need to be pushed so much though, like especially in the earlier years, is like the main courses, I guess, like read or English and science. That's important, but it shouldn't be pushed so hard so quickly. You should at least kind of get a good feel for what you want to do. I feel like starting in like 6th grade, you should be able to choose what classes you're going to take.
Yeah, like 6th, 7th grade, that should be whenever you have many electives you can come to. And like, if your school itself does not have a class for that, the school websites and stuff like that, like, or the just U.S. Department of Education should be able to link up with that school in order to offer maybe like online courses for that child if it's a class that wasn't offered in their school but would be offered in like other schools. That'd be a way to fix the whole inequality thing.
Yeah. I think that would work.
And of course, like you said, we need to up the pay because what they make right now is awful.
Yeah, just nothing.
Yeah. Notice that in the schools that have more of these options, though, we have a lot more successful students coming out of them and being able to go to college and full rides.
Yeah. It's just crazy, really. It's just the inequality of the school system, I guess.
Yeah, it's just something that kind of needs fixed.
Definitely. Any other topics? Anybody think of
Jake,
any?
Kobe, do you have anything to add to any of the conversations, or maybe another topic we could go into?
What about? I don't know. What about the situation over in Europe with all the immigration?
So that's a huge issue that they need to
Does anyone
fix.
know anything about that?
I don't know much on it, but I can still try to give some opinion, but don't take what I say to heart due to me not knowing everything on it.
Yeah.
So basically, Kobe, just run down on the situation, and I'll go from there.
Mainly, like, all the wars in bad countries over in, like, the Africa or Middle East, they're taking a lot of people in Europe, a lot of immigrants, and it's killing the economy over in Europe. And a lot of people don't support it, but also a lot of people do support it. And it's just like a big thing. Like, that's very controversial.
I have heard of this situation before. Never mind. Yes, we should not take as many immigrants as we do because, as you mentioned, it hurts the economy. If, for example, if there's a country that's going on by war, maybe take more immigrants from that country due to, war. We want to save the people, right? We don't want them to stay in a warring state and be in constant danger. But at the same time, we don't want to hurt our economy by it. So whenever there's not a war going on in the place that we're getting a lot of immigrants from, we need to just try to set up a deal with them, maybe try to help them out in order to make them be more sustainable for their people. That way, we don't have to worry about the immigrants flooding into other countries and ruining the economy that way.
See, what do you think about it, Chris?
Well,
Or you not
I think that just. Oh, I know somewhat about it. I think that just illegal immigration in general is just They need to not let. They need to. I also feel like legal immigration though they need to fix that everywhere really, like in the United States, over in Europe. They need to make it easier, but they still need to make it logical for the people who come in to be allowed in. Like just banning somebody outright just because of what they are, or where they're from. That shouldn't be a thing, but they should still have to meet certain requirements to get in countries. But like you look at Paris now. Paris is just absolutely terrible. It's filled
Yeah,
with trash. There's people living in the streets. There's like just literal garbage and crap on the streets just everywhere.
it really is awful over in Paris now.
Yeah, just
It used to be the
everywhere.
city of love, and now it just looks awful.
It's a
Like it,
city of garbage.
The city of love turned city of shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Like all these terrorist attacks have been happening in the past few years there too.
Yeah, especially I forgot all about the terrorist attacks. I mean, they got to get in there somehow.
Gotta get in the head in the games.
It's nerf for nothing.
All right.
I don't know. They just need to just work on it. They need to just deal with it one step at a time. Slow down. Take your time. First off, you need to clean up the streets, get everybody out, figure out where they're from, and just start fresh. Start letting them in slowly, but logically.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. The illegal immigration needs to be cracked down on, and not just America, because as we know, it's a big problem here, but in also the European countries, because like as we both mentioned, the economies are going down due to how many illegal immigrants are coming here.
Yeah.
And also, I agree with you when you say that the legal immigration should be cut down. Not really cut down, but made easier, but also have policies on it in order to help maintain a stable economy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And also do extensive background checks because we don't want all this shit happening.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
And what about you, Kobe? You suggested a topic. What do you have to say?
huh?
You suggested a topic. What do you have to say?
Well, honestly, they're kind of being forced to do it by Germany because it's the European Union. You know about all that stuff, how
Yeah.
they have to do part of a union. Well, some countries are fighting against it. Like they're mainly Eastern European countries, and freaking the UK with Brexit. It's been a pretty decent topic there. How they say they're not technically part of the EU, but they technically are. That's kind of with the meme thing. You know how the article that they canceled the memes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's not really been taking place in the UK because of the Brexit. So in UK they're kind of safe, but it's not entirely safe. They're still having these terrorist attacks. They're still having this overflow of immigration. And a big thing in Germany, people just say, "Oh, it's racism if you don't want them there," right? And there are these like Muslim people going around killing these innocent women, calling everyone racist, and just causing all this havoc. I'm not saying anything bad about Muslims, no, but like it's become a really big problem in that country, and this immigration thing's just not helping at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like you said, just because you mentioned the Muslim thing does not mean that you're trying to be racist in any way, shape, or form. Because whenever you look at statistics and like evidence, then yeah, like you show that some Muslim people have been going around stabbing people and just saying that was due to racism.
Like look at Sweden. Sweden has one of the largest Muslim populations, but they also have
Yeah.
the highest rape crime
Yeah.
rate in the entire world. So, yeah.
See, if there's a way that we could lower racial tensions in any country, that we need to try to figure that out because, like, as we go, of course, there's always going to be some racism. We can never fully get rid of that. Like, that's never going to happen, no matter how hard we try. But we can definitely lower it, and as we have done, we have managed to lower it some. but we still need to focus on finding a way, finding neutral ground for everyone in said country to be able to cooperate in.
Yeah. What do you guys think happened to the Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
They said it was
Have
a technical accident, I believe.
You know, that
I
place has survived several world wars and everything, and then just a little technical accident
I don't
with the
really
air.
believe it. That's the reason why I said they said before it.
So I don't really know exactly if I believe it or not, because you know today with these lights and electrical stuff, it is possible, but it's a little unlikely for it because it's been so many years. And have you seen something like that exactly happen? Like it's possible, but they must keep a lot of maintenance on a building like that, like
Yeah, because like it is a cultural standing point, and like
an extremely cultural standing.
yeah, and exactly like while it is possible, like you mentioned, it is extremely improbable. Like I'm not going to rule it out outright. Yes, it could have happened, but it just doesn't seem like it would happen if they kept maintenance up on said building. Like I understand that it was undergoing renovations at the time, but the problem is like as you mentioned, it survived wars, bombs, everything like that. Nothing managed to take it down, yet somehow a technical fire accident happened and took
Exactly.
There wasn't
the entire
even
structure.
any electrical wiring allowed in the attic.
Exactly. And
Like
somehow it
they
spread
wouldn't
from
allow it
there.
up there.
So how does something like that happen?
Like, I can't outright say that it wasn't a technical accident, but it just really doesn't seem likely. It seems like something happened there. Someone started something.
It seems intentional.
Yes.
It could have been someone that didn't like the religion, someone that the church, you know, pissed off. I don't know, like, but it just seems extremely unlikely, like you said, for it to be a technical problem like that in a highly regulated building like that.
You know what? That actually goes back to Justin's earlier point on the racial tensions. Religious tensions are another really big thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, while we have not seen a crusade like back in the old days, right? We have not seen any of that happen due to there being large crackdowns on it and stuff like that. There are still racial tensions that can result in deaths, or as we saw with Notre Dame, possibly Notre Dame. No solid evidence on it. They could be burning down structures or sabotaging equipment or like just damaging property.
Yeah. From what I'm reading, no deaths were reported at the Notre Dame, and
Did you see the pictures of it? It looked pitiful.
yeah, honestly,
It was so sad because like we saw it survive all these things and then it just gone in a fire. A fucking
Well-
fire took down it.
Exactly.
Yep.
from what I can tell, they still don't know.
They still don't know exactly.
They still don't know what happened.
They still don't know what happened exactly.
No, I don't think they do know what happened yet.
No, not from what I'm reading.
Like, there's still a lot of speculation going around. Like we said, it could be intentional or it could be a technical accident. But yeah, it's just no one really knows. There's no evidence on either side.
Okay, so this article from CBS says computer glitch may have been behind the Notre Dame Cathedral
A
fire.
computer glitch.
Wait, hold on. I'm interested in hearing how a computer glitch would cause a building of that stature to burn down without anyone catching it.
How does a computer glitch like even start something like that?
I don't know if they like maybe they meant like the computer overheated or something.
Perhaps.
Yeah, the dude
But
who
would
said
they
that
allow
it
a
happened
computer-
because of a glitch, he didn't elaborate on the nature of the glitch. And he also said we may find out what happened in 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but would a computer be allowed in a building? Because there was no electricity, like you said, they wouldn't allow anything.
Well, in the attic.
Oh, in the attic.
Yeah, so there was still probably electricity around.
Yeah, from the looks of it though, it just didn't seem like it was spread from like the bottom or like even the middle. It looked like it was started near the top, like in the attic. Like that's where
Uh,
the flame was mainly roaring from in the pictures. From what I saw, anyways. I could be misremembering, but
I don't quite remember completely, but
um, getting off the Notre Dame topic. What about the corporations in America,
Like what?
um,
such as
Give an example.
ISPs, for example?
I don't really have too much to say about those. Just in certain rural areas, it's definitely
Yes,
like
and
um, just like they own the area pretty much.
yeah, it's mainly like let's say around Eastern Kentucky, for a example, there is a large monopoly from here of the ISP.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what they
Really.
do? They just shovel money to the government so that they won't kill them. There's a lot of corruption within that type of service.
If we manage to break down on the corruption, then we're good. Like if by some miracle we manage to lessen the corruption, I can't say solve because there's always going to be corruption. Like I mentioned earlier, biases are a thing, and they
Yeah.
cannot be overwritten, no matter what we do. But
Um,
we could definitely try to rid ourselves of most of the corruption, not all, but most.
hmm It's just
No matter what you try to get rid of, there's always going to be something small left of it.
yeah. History always repeats itself.
Yes, because the people who do not study history will always they won't know what has happened due to their reasoning, such as
See, that's another. People that say, "Why do we learn history? It's nothing relevant to now."
it's
That
actually
that's a
very
really
prevalent.
good.
Yeah,
That's a really good supporting argument to that.
Right, so that we don't make the same mistakes as we did in the
It's also
past.
very important for geopolitical, uh, his studying and stuff because you want to if you're gonna go into politics or you're wanting to be a diplomat, you gotta know the history of it.
Yeah,
It's very important.
you gotta know how similar things, how it has worked, or just how it hasn't worked.
Yep.
What failed about it, how it failed, why it failed.
When it failed.
Yeah. Those type of things are really important. What do you guys think about Google? You think that they're a monopoly?
um,
Mm,
in some ways, yes, because you can pay them to have your ads displayed faster, but for the most part, Google's actually kind of unbiased. Yeah, it has
Yeah,
a
I think
bias
that was
towards
pretty good.
yeah, look, it does have bias to the companies that pay them, but usually it's only by an ad or two at the main beginning. That they don't really have a bias towards anything else. Like they show
Yeah.
ads, yes, but they don't really throttle anything. Mainly, it is exactly what you search for. Uh,
Right.
the more popular sites will appear first. The less popular will appear later on.
Exactly.
It's also dependent on location.
Yeah.
Like if you search a pizza place, then the nearest Papa John's will pop up.
Exactly, yeah.
I hate Papa.
You want to go on a rant for that for a second?
Dude,
I like
please.
Papa John's. I love
Their
Papa
pizza's
John's
so
actually.
flat.
Do you get the thin crust?
No, every time someone gets pizza from Papa John's, it's thin as paper.
I honestly think I've only ate
I
from
think
Papa
you
John's,
eat the thin crust.
Like, it sucks. Like, it tastes awful. Have you seen? Okay, so so Curtis and Evan, they did the challenge, and they said it started tasting awful after the first one or two pizzas.
Have written a letter of demands to your national leader as they are
Okay, what's the best pizza place though?
Hunt Brothers.
Little Caesars.
will lead to an organized.
Did you just say Little Caesars?
Yes, it's
Little
good.
Caesars is amazing. I
I
gotta admit.
don't really.
Little Caesars is cardboard.
You all are just cardboard.
I gotta agree with
Yes.
Chris on this one. Yeah.
No. The only thing close to cardboard is, wait for it. What do you think it's going to be?
Now, are you gonna say
Domino's.
Papa John's?
Papa John's.
I was thinking Domino's because that used to be like the metaphor in the stereotype.
I haven't eaten much of Papa John's or Domino's, so I can't really give my opinion on those. But from what I have ate a decent amount of Little Caesars due to my family fucking loving it, but I fucking don't. Like the only thing from Little Caesars I like is their
Crazy
jalapeno breadstick.
What about Crazy Bread?
I don't.
Their crazy bread is pretty nice. I
their
enjoy their
crazy
crazy
bread's
bread,
good,
but their pizza
Their
is
pizzas are
just boring.
Flat. Like it's
Yeah,
just there's nothing
Flat.
special going on with that pizza. It's just
it
Well,
just
if you want something that's
exists.
quick and cheap, it's great.
Well,
Yeah,
quick
absolutely,
and
I
cheap.
agree.
I
There's
agree fully with
hardly. Okay, you know that Italian fast food restaurant? What's it called?
Olive Garden.
Freaking
Fazoli's?
no, Fazoli's. That is great stuff.
I haven't
Fuck
eaten
is
that
Fazoli's?
Fazoli's. I don't. I've never even heard of it.
Fazoli's.
Have you guys not been to Prestonsburg ever?
I don't pay attention to
It's not
restaurants.
Prestonsburg. It's in Paintsville.
Oh, Paintsville, I'm done.
Oh, that place.
Ah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. Now that you said Paintsville, I'm like, Prestonsburg, what the fuck?
No,
Yeah.
there's an Italian restaurant in Prestonsburg, but it's kind of bad. I actually think it's garbage.
Most Italian places are garbage unless they work carefully with the food. See, I don't know how they do it fast food in Fazoli's. Like, it's just, it blows my mind. I literally ate there for the first time like a month ago, and it was like mind-boggling.
I will admit their breadsticks are like
Oh, I love it. Oh my god.
top.
Makes my mouth water thinking about them.
Okay, getting off the topic of food, how about we go back to the corporation topic, but instead of ISPs, we go to game studios. There's some roaring topics we could discuss with that.
I mean, EA is the easy one.
Yeah,
So I
it's
guess-
the easy picking. So let's, of course, go with that one and then discuss overall how gaming should be handled.
Well, EA is just terrible. I mean, they can make a good game, but they don't know how to maintain the longevity of it. They just ruin it. Like they make it.
Look at freaking. Okay, look at the old. Wait, what's it called? The Star Wars game?
Battlefront.
Battlefront. Look at the old Battlefront from PlayStation 2 and that,
Fucking
and
amazing
look at the
games.
ones now.
Like the new ones, they're good at launch, but
They just get
once
monetized
people
to
start,
hell.
once people start wanting to spend money and get all the good stuff, then it's
Oh my god,
it's
let's
no
talk
longer
about,
fun.
Let's
It's like
talk
with the
about.
content. It's like a barely tiny midget of it is like the $60 that you spent, and then the rest of the money is DLC that like is all the content.
Yeah,
There's something I want to talk about.
Okay.
What is it?
Ubisoft's getting kind of better
The
at that too.
censorship in games today. If you look at a game like, if you look at a game from like 2006 and compare it to now, there's so much more censorship.
Dude, we pussyfoot around a lot of topics. I'll go ahead and go on a rant on this shit. Alright. A lot of World War II games are scared to show the swastika due to afraid of offending someone. It's a fucking game about World War II. Don't be afraid to show everything that happened to that. We
A
cannot
bit of
deny what
history.
happened. Yeah, it's like, it's
Don't
history.
be afraid to show history.
If you get offended by history, that's fine. But that should still be allowed to be represented in our media today and talked about.
It's like the thing with facts. If you don't like the facts, it doesn't matter. It's true. It happened.
Exactly. It's like a lot of people
It's
wanna
what's
overlook-
happening now.
A lot of people try to overlook that we had slavery.
They can't talk about it.
Yeah, it's like we don't like talking about the fact that we had slavery because, you know, it's bad. It's bad on our history. But we can't overlook that. We did it, and
Yeah.
like it happened. We solved it. It's all good now, right? And
Yeah.
another thing is Vietnam. Unpopular war. A lot of
Very
people
People
overlook
hated
it.
the war even when it was happening.
Yeah. And a lot of people will try to overlook it because, oh no, we lost a war. No, fuck it. We've won more than we lost. There's no shame in saying, oh yeah, we lost a war.
That's
that
really
we
our
shouldn't
only
have been in."
loss.
A big debate. 1812.
The War of 1812.
A lot of British say they won. A lot of Americans say we won. And
What
in
did
the
they do?
middle,
They
we
burnt down the
say-
White House, right? That's all they did.
But
Literally,
what did the
it
Battle
was
of New Orleans?
technically
Yeah,
stalemate.
the Battle of New Orleans. Okay, sure. I mean, but that's still not a loss.
Exactly.
Exa-
No,
just
yeah,
because-
we won that battle.
I mean, the Battle of New Orleans was that was the final battle, and we just destroyed them. We
Technically-
didn't lose a single
technically-
warrior, did we?
I
Or
don't
the
think
same-
we
or a
did.
single soldier.
Yes, we lost a few, but technically, the war was over. We just didn't because of it was 18. It was 1814, I think. You know, we still got messages through like horseback and crap. People didn't get the news, and the British were like invading. They didn't get the news, and then Andrew Jackson, you know, led this little thing, and we we did obliterate them. Like holy
Yeah,
crap!
we fucking destroyed them. We fucking 360
Or
no
just-
scoped that entire army.
We really did. That
Did you
was
guys-
the last. Wasn't that the last war we had against the British?
I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking
Since
back
then,
on
we've
it-
been pretty good buddies.
Yeah, we've been pretty good buddies ever since.
They've had their backs, they've had ours.
I think the United Kingdom and the United States are the two really closest allies that this world kind of has right now.
It's
Mm.
ironic because we used to hate each other.
Yeah.
I know, right?
We broke off because we're like, you're fucking taxing our tea, you fucking bastards.
Oh, what
now,
about
now we're taxing ourselves 30%.
What about World War One?
Yeah.
Because in World War One, America was choosing a side, right? They were either going to choose Germans or the British friendly, but you know the Allies or freaking Central Powers. I almost said Axis.
Yeah, I was getting ready to
What if we
fucking
chose the Germans? Like, what if the Germans didn't do anything with the shipping? They didn't sink the whatchamacallit ship with the ale, and they didn't
I don't think we
send-
would run anything.
and they didn't do anything with Mexico.
I think
Do you
we,
think?
I think we would have stayed neutral, or we still would have leaned towards the Allies because we were already kind of supplying them, but we wouldn't have fucking like. went
Yeah,
to
but like,
war.
what if we joined the Central Powers?
Well, if we
is what I'm saying.
joined the Central Powers,
We would have won.
yeah, we would have
It's-
fucking
it's so
won,
simple.
and then a lot of things would be a lot different nowadays. Like
Yeah.
World War II.
Like if
probably
we
would not have even
joined
happened.
the Nazis, World War II, we would have just swept through, and
Exactly, because like we had a
Oh,
front.
American Nazi.
that'd be crazy.
I don't
That
even
would-
want to think about that.
Thank God.
If the First World War was won by the Germans, there wouldn't be. There probably would, but it wouldn't be Nazis because Hitler probably wouldn't have got above 2%.
No, Hitler would have stayed in prison.
Exactly.
The only reason in our timeline he got 2% of the vote until the Great Depression.
Wait,
If
what?
the Great Depression did not happen, he probably would not.
The Great
have
Depression was
been-
going to happen regardless. There's no way our economy. Well, really, the only reason the Great Depression happened was because of World War One, and the only reason it ended was because of World War Two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we joined World War II, the production went up really
Yeah.
crazy.
And then our economy was booming again.
Yep.
There's a rebellion in Poland.
Okay.
What is that going on right now or something?
No, I'm playing a game.
Oh.
Hearts of Iron. Oh no, you're playing Total War, aren't you?
Yeah.
How about we talk about just overall the opinion on our country and the state it's in, and like what we could do to change it, to better it, and just like overall what we think about our country. Kobe, I know you're wanting to start this off, so come on now.
So what was it?
What do you have to say about our country? It can be anything about the country, anything that we should do, anything that's happened, anything that people just disagree on. Just have at it.
First of all, we need to pay back our $20 trillion debt that's plaguing our country.
Well, actually, if you think
A lot
about
of that
it,
debt's to ourselves.
honestly, if you think about it, if we pay back our debt, nothing would really happen.
No, there's nothing really saying that. Oh no, we're like a lot of the
Because
talks about the
we
debt.
got a steady, even with the debt we're paying back, we still got a steady. It's nothing's going to happen because our economy's going to stay the exact same.
Exactly.
We're just
And we'll
always
still
20
just
trillion.
end up in debt because
It's
like
gonna happen again.
whenever we transfer money, it's like something weird happens and we end up negative. I don't know, something strange, but
There's a video called like "What if America paid off all its debt?" and it kind of talks about it.
Yeah. I watched that video. If we paid off our debt, it would literally do jack shit.
it'd make us look good, I
Really?
guess. It'd make the next president look good, but that's it.
Yeah, that's about it. It'd just make someone look good. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Damn.
I could be totally wrong, but from what from what I have researched and what I know,
Who do you think,
then no.
if there would be a third world war, who do you think it would be with, and probably why?
Nobody would be alive.
Korea and Russia.
Could be nuclear
Let's
warfare.
say the nuke starting question. Let's say there was a treaty signed not to use the nukes unless
And actually
absolutely-
upheld it.
and there it was just ground
Well,
war.
honestly, our next war is probably not going to be too physical. Most of it's going to be online. We're going to go straight for the economy. We're going to go for the internet. We're going to shut it all down. Get
Well,
rid of
no,
the
no,
electricity.
that wouldn't really be a good thing to do because it's just like the Cold War. If you do it to them, they're going to do it to you.
Well, not if you do it to them quicker than they can do it to you.
That's almost
If you completely
impossible.
shut them out, well,
That's almost impossible to do it to an entire country, though.
so is winning a war against an entire country.
It would kind of be a mixture of what you both are saying. The next war would probably have a lot to do with cyber. Like, the cyber would come in at the main beginning. It'd rush against both countries attacking each other. And then once one of the countries is weakened enough that the other country feels like it's time to strike, then ground troops, air troops, everything like that will be mobilized in order to go against the country.
Have you ever watched a video over how the United States is almost impossible to ground invade?
Yeah.
Due to its geography?
Yeah. We've got a pretty good country when it comes to locking it down.
Yeah, we're good.
We need to fix...
In Canada, they're not gonna. What would Canada even do?
They would,
Unless maybe like freaking Russia invaded them.
they would yeet trees at us made of maple syrup.
Dude, they'd just be like, "How you doing, eh?" and just start throwing maple at us.
They start drowning us in marmalade.
Maple Molotovs.
Maple
They
tops.
they turn all of our water in like maple syrup.
Fucking hell, dude.
They start like riding in on bears and moose.
Dude, Putin just like
Riding on bears,
parts
it's
the
rough.
seas. He just like punches a hole through the Atlantic all the way straight here.
Oh god, my alarm's gonna go off at 5:50, and it's gonna make me up, and I'm gonna be so pissed.
Boys.
We're recording this at 2:50.
Yeah, it's pretty late when we're recording. That's ooh.